Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we're going to be talking about a device that's not even out yet. This is sometimes I do this. Sometimes it's necessary, but I find it interesting at how people perceive how something is going to be worth it or shouldn't be priced a certain way without using it, without having it, and then based on something that has nothing to do with the other. I'm talking about the Pixel Fold. If in fact the Pixel Fold is coming, we've all heard the rumors and everything, but I find it interesting that some people are already writing this device off just because of the price. That is what shocks me. I'm just kind of floored that people could jump right out there and say, "Oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it because this, and this. It won't sell. It won't do this. This won't happen." But it's strange that people pretty much give devices like this a pass instantly. And we both know that, you know, if Apple comes out with a folding device, it's going to cost $2,000 easy. They have iPhones that are almost the price of this device, if not the price of this device. So I ask you directly, why is it that some companies get a pass? How is it that people are willing to spend the money on this device, but they won't even give Google a chance with theirs before it even hits the market? We're still in the rumor mill phase, and meaning a rumor is just that, a rumor. We don't know exactly what the Pixel Fold, if that's what's going to be called. We don't really know much about this because rumors are just rumors. And it's okay to give your opinion on something. We all have that right. But I feel like sometimes when it comes to a Pixel device launching, people really give it a side eye before it even gets its feet on the ground and before it even gets going. There's no traction at all, and people will start to write it off because the rumor is it's going to cost $1,700, pretty much matching what Samsung is doing. So what's the big deal? We all kicked out that money from Samsung, and I think let me be honest, people are able to finance this device. Not everybody kicked out the cash like some of us. People were able to do a trade-in. They were able to finance the device. They didn't pay the actual price of this device, because I can guarantee if people had to flip that full amount like some of us did, they wouldn't do it. But a lot of people are in this lane because you have the ability to finance, pay monthly on it for 36 months, 24 months. That is why some people have the attitude they have. But if it was and I've said this since day one, if it was a leveled playing field for all creators, and then there was no special trade-ins. Like we basically lived like in the UK, they have to buy the devices. They don't get very many good deals. If it was like that over here, it'll be a lot less sales. It'll be a lot less sales. There would not be as many of these devices sold, and everybody would be leaning towards $200-300 devices. If every time, what if there was no insurance and things like this? You wouldn't have the same attitude about a device. I can't say it any more real than that. So for the people that are complaining about the price of the Pixel Fold before it even gets here, we don't know if that's going to be the price. But if that is the price, so what? Everybody else has done it, and we gave them a pass. Samsung released this device at $2,000 initially. And some people might argue, oh, you got headphones, you got a watch, you got this. Yeah, but still, you were forced to pay that $2,000. Simple. You didn't have to, but when it came out, people complained about the price of that, but they still bought it. They still bought it. So when it comes to Google, with the Pixel lineup in general, I've noticed across the board that there's generally and seriously just this complaining before it even hits the ground. Period. There's no other way to say that. And I'm not trying to be nice about it either, because it's a little annoying to know that it's in your subconscious. You might feel some type of, everybody does though. Like I've said on this channel, when Apple releases a folding device, if they do it, it's going to be $2,000. I'm going to talk about the price as a downside. Yeah, I talked about the price on this as a downside. It's too high for a lot of people. And But that doesn't mean I should get online and say, don't buy it. It's not worth it. I feel like this device is totally worth it, but I still don't like the price. Does that make sense? For what this device offers, there's nothing else that's competing with it. So why don't we want competition? Why would Google give their first attempt at something like their first watch? People had some concerns about their watch. It's too small. It doesn't look right, but you still bought it and you love it. It costs too much. All these different things. You still bought it and you love it. Period. Meanwhile, you've got other watches with worse battery or not as smooth, anything that costs more or about the same. So when Pixel Fold, or if this is what it's going to be called or whatever, when Google announces this and releases it, rumors are that it's going to be coming in like summertime. If it comes out at $1,700, just hush. If it's, I don't care if that sounds mean or not. It's you have the option to go and do something. Like, you have the option not to watch this video. You know what I'm saying? You have the option to turn it off if you don't like what I'm saying. If you're offended by what I'm saying, you might be that person that's always whining and crying about the price, and you don't even intend to buy it anyway. You just want to get in the conversation. Or there's always those people that are just keyboard warriors. Who cares about them? They're always going to be there. But you got these people who do buy the device that just gripe about the price the whole time. It's pointless. You bought it. Find out something else about the device that actually is good. It's called pros and cons. Nowadays, almost every device's price is a con, because once you pass $400 with me, you got to start explaining yourself. You got to really be great. You're probably wondering why I've slowed back on phone reviews, and I've become very selective and be transparent. I don't like that when I was reviewing all the imports, a lot of creators in the U.S. wasn't doing it. They said, "Oh, those Chinese phones, all these other racist things," and they was just saying all kinds of things. Now, those same creators, these devices now cost the same, if not more, than some of the devices in the U.S. And now those same creators are like, "Oh, this is magical. This is great. This is the best cameras." We knew that technology would come about, but even back then, a lot of those devices were better than iPhones and Samsungs altogether. So I've slowed down. I stopped buying all these expensive devices and picked certain ones in the U.S. that I want to get, because it's exhausting at best to know that, you've been promoting, getting these things out to customers, and, a lot of the devices were just ahead of their time. Xiaomi is not even in the U.S., and I live in the U.S. As much as it pains me, a lot of the devices are better than the devices we have in the U.S., but folks, I was an import just king, if you will. I introduced a lot of people to imports on this channel, and I've pulled back on that because the Xiaomi is not getting the support in the U.S. so people can actually use the devices. Like, they kicked Huawei out, you kicked Xiaomi, you kick all these companies out to where U.S.-based consumers can't really. I can show it to you, and I still do it sometimes with a lot of these devices, but I've pulled back a lot, if you notice, because a lot of people really want these devices, and then after they get them, they're just like, man, I can't even this. AT&T won't use. The companies in the U.S. are blocking them. AT&T is trash for the things they do. T-Mobile is probably the only company you can really officially use an imported phone on. Everybody else blocking phones. You forcing people to buy. Well, they're not forcing, but they're not wrong. It's a business move, but at the same time, how much can I really promote something that a person can't use on Verizon, they can't use on AT&T, they can't use on Cricket? I'm not going to push everybody to T-Mobile, because T-Mobile isn't the best carrier in the U.S. for a lot of people. You know what I mean? So let's circle back around to the Fold real quick. The folding Pixel, if in fact it comes out, when it comes out, expect it to be $1,500 at least. And then when it comes in lower than that, that's a little bit of a bonus for you. But I think a lot of people might be a little salty about that, is because they probably won't be able to finance that on a carrier. I don't know. I don't know for sure if the Pixel Fold is going to be on carriers, but if it's not, people are going to be a little salty about that. People want to finance their phones. Like the everyday consumer, they don't want, it's a lot of creators out there that finance their phones. They don't want to kick out this cash on something that's going to depreciate right away. If you're not getting enough revenue coming into your channel, you're losing money if you're out there spending. Let's just be honest. You're losing money if you're out there just buying every device. You're not getting the return on it. At that point, it really needs to be because you're enjoying tech. I've always been that way. But if the Pixel Fold does drop at a high price, which, like I said before, over $400, we already know that. Look in a different direction. Don't make a whole bunch of videos and complaints on going to people's comments online with these threads, or hitting YouTubers who have the device saying, "Oh, it's trash, it's a waste of money. Samsung done. It's pointless." I know people do that all the time, but I personally feel like once the device gets here, then we can have a serious conversation about it, because we don't know anything about the device right now. We don't know about it. We only know rumors. And when it drops, some people are going to say, well, Team Pixel, if people feel some type of way about this, whatever, step your game up and get involved, man. Put yourself in a position where Google will say, hey, here's this device. It's about all I can tell those people out there who keep hating on Team Pixel and the Pixel Superfans group and all those. That's just hate right there. There's no other way to say that. You're hating because you didn't get it for free, or you feel like it's free, you deserve one. No. What are you doing to help the tech community, for all the people out there that continuously complain about Team Pixel, or people in the Superfans group, or people who just get sent the devices? Most of the people on YouTube who get sent the device are actually content creators and have been before the Pixel comes out. I think that might be an issue for some people, though. Let's be real. If people can't get it if they don't put this on a carrier, there'll probably be less units sold. And I don't really care about the sales, but I'm saying if a person can't finance, and obviously if you have good credit, you can put it on your credit card, or you can use whatever, PayPal credit, whatever you choose to pay with. If you have the ability to finance it another way, then great. But if it's not on carriers, we all know, and they probably wouldn't put it on carriers because that's like super mass production. And, you got to limit yourself on having too many on hand. You don't want to buy 15 cars and have 15 cars sit on your lot for 15 months. You want to get them in and out the same day if you can. And, these companies, that is how they're going to roll. They want to get these products sold into the consumer's hands, and they don't want them back. They don't want warranty claims. They don't want repair. They don't want any. They want you to just buy it. It needs to work, and you get it off their hands, and they move on to the next item. So when the Pixel Fold does drop, if that's what it's called, again, rumor mill, when it does drop, then we can take some people serious about after they've used it for 30 days or they've used it for 2 months or whatever. You know what I mean? Because when the Surface, when this dropped, I think it only got slammed because the software was it became bad. But now, this device is hitting. Yeah. And I have the OG version, so I will always like this one better than the second version just because of the hardware. I don't have to own the second one. This one is the one. This hardware is stellar. I had a gentleman comment recently on the video I did on the OtterBox. Yeah, people are still using this device, and they still want accessories for it. And ironically enough, it's getting software updates. This device is 3 years old, pretty much. Going on 3 years. And I still think it is a phenomenal folding device. It's a little bit more useful in some ways than the Fold 4 just because it has 2 full-size screens. The hardware, it feels more premium because it's a different kind of glass. It's just good. I like everything about this phone, man. I shouldn't call it a phone because it's an actual device. I like everything about it. Being able to fold it all the way around like this is hot. It's a Surface. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a beautiful piece of hardware. And so Google is going to be in between these two devices right here when it comes to size. And we know that. So the Flip 4 is over there, everyone. I'm trying to be as reserved as possible when it comes to talking about upcoming devices because I'm known for saying I'm not getting that, and then I get it every time. Like the device I'm recording with is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. I wasn't planning on getting this. I got a review unit in, loved it, bought it. Then bought the Plus, because this was the one I was originally going for, and got the S23 in as well. So, folks, the Pixel folding devices are amongst us, and they're going to do well in the future. They're doing pretty well right now, and people love them. People are always shocked when they see you have them. You know, I see a lot of Fold 4s where I live at. I see a lot of Fold 4s, man. It's incredible how many people have the Fold 4. Literally, I see people, and I see a lot of Fold 2s in the mix as well. It's so strange. Like when I'm out and about, but in the area, I see a lot of Fold 4s. And I asked this one guy, he's another business owner. He said, man, I had to get it. I needed something that I can do. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, folks, are you upset on the rumor that it's going to cost $1,700 for the Pixel Fold, if that's what it's called? Or are you just one of those people that's like, you know what? I don't have to buy it if I don't want to. I'm interested in it no matter the price. Who are you when it comes to the pricing of the Pixel Fold? What's your take on it? It's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.